let's discuss about how to create the REST API using Node.js. In our previous examples, we created a user object from the React.js. Now we need to post that user to the backend. Typically for the backend, you can use ASP.NET Core REST APIs or Java REST APIs or Python REST APIs. Or you can use even JavaScript itself as your backend programming language. So what I mean here was you should be able to create the REST APIs or web APIs using the JavaScript also. We have already discussed we have a node.js as a runtime for executing the JavaScript on server side. So using the Node.js as the runtime, using some other packages, let's demonstrate how to create the REST APIs in the backend. So first, yes, we need to install the Node.js, and we have to go and install the Node.js, and we should have the Visual Studio Code as our IDE, and we should go and install all dependencies. So we have the Express.js as a dependency, so we can using npm install. We should be able to install Express and our cards, all other dependencies we have. So first we need to go and init our Node.js application. So npm init y. So what does it does? It is going to create a new package at the given location. So once it creates a package, it is going to create the package name, package version, what are the dependencies it have. Then you have to go and install the Express and Chorus dependencies, and you need to go and make use of them and write the HTTPS. So what we do is let's demo this example by doing a live example by creating the real-time REST APIs. So here I'm in Visual Studio Code. The command we need to use for initializing the application is npm init -y. So this is going to initialize the application for us, a package. So if you see, it's very simple. It is going to create a package.json with your app name, like vehicle as its code crafters craft, and what is the starting file, and what are the authors and license and all those stuff. You can go and define the your package information. So that's the first step. Then after that, we need to go and install the packages. What are the packages? They are Express and cars. So let's go and have the command npm install Express cars. So once we install, they'll be coming in the dependencies section. Why we need Express was, so if you want to create the REST APIs on the server side, yeah, it needs some web framework which is achieved through the Express. Okay, once we have done both of them, so we need to go and create a new file called as server.js, or you can call it as user.js or whatever it is. But for time being, I'm calling this as server.js. So this is the file where we'll have all our user REST API code. Okay. Okay. So first thing, what exactly we need to do? First, we need to go and import. Like, okay, so we are using Node.js here. So in the Node.js, whenever you are trying to do the um import statement, they are not called as import. In this, they will be using the require syntax. So what I'm doing here, I'm trying to first create import statement for constant Express. First I want to get my Express syntax, Express server or Express API. So I'm saying require Express. It is as good as import Express. Okay. So you are importing the Express package. That is nothing but, if you see in the node modules, you will have the Express installed and the cards installed. You are telling that please go ahead and import that Express for you. Then the next thing is you need to go and import the cards. Okay, the important thing was the cards. Like, I'll explain what is the cards. Cards is cross origin resource sharing. So if you want to go and from localhost 5000, if you want to make a request to localhost 6000, because they are two different domains, then we need the cards. We're going to talk about that more later. So let's go and try to create our app instance and tell that, okay, this app requires the cards functionality. So we are going to specify the cards, means you should be able to go and make calls from anywhere to anywhere. See, for example, I'll tell you, like, if you want to make a request to the Axis Bank from ICICI, it is not allowed because they are two different origins. Similarly, if you want to make from HTTP localhost 8000 to HTTP localhost 9000, it is not allowed because port number is different. There are two different domains. What CARS enables is you will enable that capability. Hey, even the request come from 9000, like you have HTTP localhost 9000 is your server, and you are trying to make a request from HTTP localhost 8000, you can still allow here. So you are saying that okay, yes, please allow even if the request is coming from a different origin. Okay, then we are trying to say like express.json. What this app.use express.json is going to do is whenever you get a request, you will have some data, like if, when you are trying to post a user, you are going to get the user data in a JSON format, so you need to pass that to a object, and whenever you are trying to respond, you need to convert that to a string. So for that we are trying to say that okay, we are trying to use the express JSON features to convert the between JSON object to JSON strings over here. So now after that let's go and try to create some users. Like we are going to have the in memory, so otherwise you can have the real time. So you can have the express, like you can have hard coded users, or otherwise you can have MongoDB and all those things to go and maintain the user. So I'm going to create some users here now. Yeah, you can have a couple of the users, and you can say jim at example.com. Yeah, so phone. Yeah, so done. So we have simple users. Okay, then so let's go to the our main code. Now we have done, we have went and created the user. So now this is where our main code base comes now. So now what is our main code base? Now you need to implement the API for the get. Like means if someone asks for the get, so when you say someone asks for the get method, you are saying app.get. If someone makes a request for the users, so what I am going to say here was, if someone comes and asks for the users, you can say, you can say yes, response.json. What exactly you are trying to do here? Whatever this user's object is there, right, you are trying to respond with the user with the user's information over here. That's what you are trying to do it now. So this is the information for getting the users. Okay, done. Now if you want to post the users, like you can see, if you want to have the API prefix or not, you can go and decide that. So for now you can go and keep this API, that's perfectly fine. So whenever you want to make a post, means if someone is posting the data to our server, so how do we do that? So here I'm trying to have app.post API slash users. If someone is going to get the response, how do we do that? So here whenever someone is trying to post the user data, so we can, what you can do is you can go and uh, extract the user information. Okay, now let me go and try to remove this code. So first what we need to do is, we know that in the user we are going to have the name, email and all those stuff. Yeah, we are going to have from the request dot body, we are going to have the name, email, phone and password fields. Okay, now what I'm going to do is, we are going to have the ID field, so that we are trying to increment, so we are trying to generate the ID field dynamically. So then what we are going to do is, we can go and push this information to the users. So we are going to go and push the information, and then you can say that the response is successful. We can go and say response dot status is successful, like 201 indicates yes, user has been successfully created over here. Okay, once this is done, how do we run the application? Yeah, we are going to implement put and delete methods also, but these are the two important things for us. So we have done like every, like if you see app.post, this is the URL. If the request comes to here, then we are saying this both have request and response. If you see that in the request, we are trying to, from the request dot body, we are extracting the information and getting the user information, and then you are trying to put to the server. So and again if you say 201, yeah, it is successful, and you are trying to respond with the user information whatever has been created over here. So when someone asks for the user information, so you are not making use of the request information here, you are just trying to say response.json there. So as of now, we have only two APIs. That's perfect. We are going to implement the rest of the APIs later. Now, what we need to do is, we need to start this application. We need to say app dot listen. Means we have to define app dot listen. we can define what is the port you are trying to define. So as our 3000 port is already used for our React JS application, let's go and try to make this as 5000. Okay, so we can say 5000 as our running. So now if you want to run this application, how do we go and try to run this application? We need to say, we have already seen, you can go and say node and give your file name, server, your file name you have to give node server.js. Yeah. So once you say, it is going to specify that okay, yes, your API is running. Now your application is running. Let's go and try to verify whether this application is running. If your application is running, you should be able to verify the user's data from here. So for that, what we can do is you can go and open your browser and try to call localhost 5000 slash API slash users. Yeah, if you see here, you are able to see all the user information. So you are able to get three users that have been available on the server, and you are able to get all the user information. Of course, your password is coming in the plain text, but we need to go new encrypt, and we should never get the password and all. Yeah, that is all security purpose, but we are not focusing on those things. So what we have done here is we have created a simple REST API using the Node.js. What we have done, we are using two packages called as Express and Cards, and we have initialized our app, and we are specifying please enable the cards capability. Means from domain 1 you should be able to make a request to the domain 2, and for the JSON capabilities use Express JSON capabilities. And we are saying whenever we have created in-memory copy of users, and then someone asks for the users with API users. So that's what we are trying to do in our browser also. Whenever if someone asks, say it is running on 5000 API slash users, if someone makes a get request to this, you are internally indicating that yes, you are going to specify that please respond with the user information. So you will not be able to do a post request via browser. We need some tools called as Postman, which we are going to talk about in our next section. So we have the users to get the information, and again you can post the information over here. So this is as simple as doing that. So you should be able to have your own REST APIs to verify our CRUD operation from our React JS application.